Okay, good evening once again. Welcome to the Saints Coaches Show, and also the Saints preview and the LSU Coaches Show. We are going to preview the Saints around 8 o'clock, but we're going to the Ed Orgeron Show as we speak. So we're going to do that right now. So once again, thanks for joining us here. So they'll be on until 8 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. We'll put it in.
Hey, Tiger fans, just say Fan Zone into your Contour voice remote and enhance your game day experience all week long. Play games, win prizes. Cox, we're LSU fans 24/7.
Line up here on 2nd down and 6. Johnson, again, quick handoff. Ty Davis-Price to 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Fighting Tigers. 25-yard touchdown for Ty Davis-Price. And he lifts the Tigers up 41-35.
Our weekly visit with the top Tiger. This is the Ed Orgeron Show, live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Back here, Wednesday night, Ed Orgeron Show. Great group of fans inside TJ Ribs. And speaking of fans, it's that time of the night where we turn the microphone over to LSU fans. And we've got 3 lined up ready to go. And I think we have Ned up first. Is it Ned? No, we're going with Ragu. Yeah, well, it's good to see Ragu back.
Thank you very much.
Go
Tigers.
Yeah.
Go Tigers. Coach, in 1981, I was there. We skipped the bear. 2010, he died shortly after. 1993, Pigs Fool, Alabama. Anybody doesn't believe LSU can win this game, needs to go home and stay home. Bring the A game. You can bring the A game. I know we got the team ready to play. And quick question, Corey Connor and Jack Bech, talk about how well they played, how good they're going to be.
Outstanding freshman, great character, young man, came in shape, came in motivated, wanted to play. 2 great recruits, 2 great leaders. They're going to be great Tigers. Yeah.
Ned, I apologize. I forgot. Big Ragu. I mean, he's a celebrity here at TJ Ribs, and we had to get him in there first. So, and I know you understand that. So, now your time.
Coach, my question is to you. Can we still count on you to do some recruiting for LSU?
Always.
Thank you, sir.
I'm always going to sell LSU.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always.
All right, Ned, thanks for the question. All right. Wake up the neighbors. Turn off the phones. It's Evil Twin.
Coach, Alabama is also an ancient Indian word. It means armpit of the universe. Inhabited by grown men that shake pom-poms. Coach, 2 years ago, I was minding my own business on this show, and I felt compelled to make fun of their exalted cult leader, Mr. Nicky Poo Saban. And a lot of these Alabama people were not happy with my comments. And there was actually, in particular, there was this online journalist that they made all kinds of fun of me, and said all kinds of horrible things. And look how anxiety prone I am. Look how upset I am about what they said about me. And I couldn't get over it, Coach, because you know what? I was confused because I don't understand how there can be any marketing for anybody that's in online journalism. Because, that's kind of like being a dentist in Starkville, Mississippi. There's no teeth over there. This over there in Alabama, how can you have online journalism? Don't you have to have electricity there? Don't you have to be able to read over there? Coach, they don't want me to make Nicky Poo mad. Well, guess what? I hate to break the news to you. Here's a news flash. He's always mad. Look at the man. He's on TV. It looks like the test results came back positive again. You think that he would be mad, Coach? You're worried about him being mad, but you know what, Coach? The thing is, I'd be mad too if I made all that money and I couldn't get any quality hair dye. Coach, they had a gentleman earlier and said a great prayer, but I want to add to that prayer. Coach, Lord, protect Alabama for the butt whipping for which they are about to receive. Can I have an amen? Can I have an amen? We're going to do service on Saturday, Coach. Coach, one question. I have a question for you. We have a lot of injuries in the defensive backfield. Who are our projected starters in the defensive backfield?
You got to look at Jay Ward's coming back, and we got to believe in Jay Ward, and he's played well. Ray Darius Jones is going to have to play for us. Cam Lewis is going to have to play for us. Darren Evans is going to have to play for us. So those guys have to step up, and I think they will. You got it.
All right. Thanks to Evil Twin. Thanks to Ned. And good to see Big Ragu right back here at TJ Ribs. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to look ahead, get a scouting report, what Coach O knows about the opponent coming up Saturday evening in Tuscaloosa with kickoff just after 6 p.m. Central Time. We'll do that when we come back. It's the Ed Ogeron Show live from TJ Ribs here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
LSU Tiger fans are gearing up with real Tigers apparel and merchandise from the official online store at lsushop.net. Get jerseys, sideline gear, polos, t-shirts, hats, official team merchandise from Nike, accessories, and much more. Over 3,600 products, all shipped right to your door. Head to the place real Tiger fans go for the selection only real Tiger fans get at lsushop.net.
We always picture the SEC student athlete for their speed, their vertical, their agility, but it's time we picture them for more. For their campus voice, their community outreach, and for the simple fact that 20 years later, they're still someone's pride and joy. More than students, more than athletes. In the SEC, it just means more.
Hey, Tiger fans, this is Chris Blair inviting you to become part of our LSU Athletics podcast world. For the very latest on the Tigers, whenever it's convenient for you, catch Cody Morsham and number 18, Jacob Hester, for the Hey Fighting podcast, a look inside LSU football. Join me and hear from some of the great voices of college sports on Hearing Voices. Get up to speed on the Tigers' next opponent with LSU Recon, plus replays of the Ed Ogeron Show and many more. Find them all at lsusports.net/podcast, on the LSU Sports mobile app, and anywhere podcasts can be found. Subscribe today.
We always picture the SEC student athlete for their speed, their vertical, their agility, but it's time we picture them for more. For their campus voice, their community outreach, and for the simple fact that 20 years later, they're still someone's pride and joy. More than students, more than athletes. In the SEC, it just means more.
In a tie game, 42-42. Johnson going to work under center. Johnson takes the snap, fakes the handoff, now rolls, throws. Jerry Jenkins at the 5, right corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Fighting Tigers.
The very latest on the Fighting Tigers. Call in to talk with Coach O at 225-578-4827 in Baton Rouge. Toll free from anywhere. 1-800-315-8255 or tweet us live at LSU Radio. This is the Ed Ogeron Show, live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Tiger fans, this Saturday evening, LSU travels to Tuscaloosa. They'll face the Alabama Crimson Tide. It will be the 86th meeting all time with Alabama, who leads the series 54 wins to 26 losses and 5 ties. That is. The Tide 7-1 on the season, 4-1 in the SEC. Their lone loss coming to Texas A&M and Bryan College Station on a last-second Aggie field goal to make it 41-38. Kickoff comes your way just after 6 p.m. Saturday evening from Bryant-Denny Stadium, and we will have full wire-to-wire coverage starting with LSU Game Day, presented by YourView at 4 o'clock right here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Coach, you mentioned it on Monday. You said it earlier today on the teleconference, a top-caliber team you will face this week. talent all over the field. They're well coached. When you put the tape on, what do you see? 10,000-foot view of the 2021 Alabama Crimson Tide.
Well, obviously they're very well coached, talented, but their offensive line, that left tackle, Evan Neal, I tried to recruit him. It's going to be a first-round draft choice. He's the best offensive lineman that we're going to play against this year. Their offensive line is big and strong. Brian Robinson's a great back. Brian Young knows how to operate in their offense. The receivers are very fast. They give you different motions and shifts, like to get you in the wrong place on defense. We have to be at the right place at the right time.
You know, the Tide obviously has opened up the offense over the last several years, but to your point, I mean, it's all predicated, whether it's run or pass, on that offensive line. Now, they lost a few key names from a year ago, but they've had some guys really step up. What do you see from an X's and O's standpoint that you'll have to handle them up front?
Yeah, it's all game. They get off the ball really well. They got low pad level. If they get a chance, they're going to run the ball right down your throat. You got to show them that you're going to stop the run.
Offensively, solid quarterback in sophomore Bryce Young. Obviously, you faced Jalen Hurts, Tua, Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Now it's Young's turn. What do you see that is similar in what he does within the offense from those previous quarterbacks? And maybe what skill set do you see number 9 have that may is a little bit different or something that is new that you have to account for?
He's more of a drop back passer. He can scramble. He's a good athlete, but he's a system guy. He's very accurate with the football. He throws very few interceptions. But they do what he can do best, the short, easy throws. And then if you get your safeties up, they're going to throw the ball behind your head.
Let's talk about the run game a little bit. Brian Robinson Jr., somewhat a unique story here in 2021. This young man waited for his chance to be running back number 1 for the Tide. Happens to come as a fifth-year senior. 700 yards rushing, 11 rushing scores. He's got 2 touchdowns receiving. Put up 3 scores in their last game against Tennessee. What challenges does he bring along with Williams and also Sanders, who you may see run the ball on Saturday?
He can make you miss. He's a one-cut guy. He's a great zone runner. He's going to come downhill, attack, put his foot in the grass, and get north and south. And he can make guys miss in the open field. He'll lower his shoulder pads when he needs to. He's a very tough runner, and he also can catch the ball on the backfield.
You talk about Alabama's use of the short passing game at times or intermediate passing game. They do have the tendency to go deep. John Mechie III seems to have been a wide receiver coach at Alabama for what seems to be an eternity now, but he's only coming into his junior season. He is the leading returning wideout. But Jamison Williams seems to be the burner, the guy they go deep to. He's got 370-yard-plus receptions on the year. And then you got to remember Cameron Latu, the tight end. He's a guy they like to use inside the red zone. Just when you think they're going to line up and run it at you, they'll sneak him out there and throw him the ball. He's got 5 scores on the year.
Yeah, they're very good at their bunch routes. They'll get it condensed formations. They'll get you in a certain coverage, get you man-to-man, and throw it to Mechie Deach. They like the tight end over the middle, and they like the tight end in the red zone.
When you look at the matchup defensively and you tell your guys, all right, look, they're a very talented team, but here are some things that if we do defensively, we give ourselves a chance to win this football game.
Match the physicality of the offensive line. We need to get underneath their pads and win the line of scrimmage. We need to hit the running back. We need to tackle him. We need to gang tackle him. We need to contain the quarterback, stay on top, make him throw in front of us, and tackle well in space.
We talked about the linebackers, and of course, you've got a really good one in Damone Clark. How do those guys make a difference in being able to be where they need to be, whether it's against the run or even when they have to be in coverage?
They're going to be challenged in the pass coverage. I think that there's be some one-on-ones with Damone and those guys. I think they'll handle it very well, but they have to be in the right spot at the right time. And we're going to have to tackle. We have to tackle sideline to sideline. We cannot let them run the football in between the tackles. That's what they want to do.
One of the things you talked about last week was making sure that everybody defensively, especially on the back end of your defense, doesn't get full with eye candy, keeps their assignment where it needs to be. You mentioned you're going to be with some guys who you have confidence in the secondary, but how important is it for them not to get confused and stay where they need to be?
Well, first of all, they're going to be all fired up. So we have to do some simple things on defense that we know our guys are going to be in the right position at the right time. And then as the flow of the game goes, we can do different things with our guys. But we need to make sure they're in the right spot.
You know, one of the things that you and I have talked about on the show as well at times has been you have to pick your poison in years past on, okay, we're just going to go sell all out to try to get to the Alabama back. Or do you try to keep them contained in the pocket, not allow them to extend plays, sprint out, and find and make some miraculous plays? When you look at what you need to do against Bryce Young, is he one that you have to pick your poison on whether you bring pressure or do you just try to keep him in a certain spot?
We would like to rush 4 and drop 7. If we can get to them in a 4-man rush and drop 7, we're going to be fine. I think that's the best way to go. Every once in a while, you got to drop 8 against them. If you do all-out blitz, somebody's man's going to play. You're either going to get a sack or they're going to get a touchdown, and we usually don't live like that.
All right, fans, should be a great matchup on Saturday. LSU taking on Alabama. We'll take another timeout. We've got our final segment with Coach O this week, so don't go anywhere. We'll talk about the defense the Tigers will face on Saturday. When we come back, it's the Ed Ogeron Show. We are live from TJ Ribs right here on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Do you have Medicare and make less than $1,615 per month? Or do you have Medicare and Medicaid? You may be eligible for extra benefits you're not getting now, and you may be able to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan from People's Health. Don't wait. If you enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan from People's Health today, your benefits may begin the first day of next month. Call 1-855-410-7761. That's 1-855-410-7761. People's Health, your Medicare health team.
Hollingsworth Richards Ford is a proud sponsor of the LSU Tigers. For over 30 years, we've been a member of LSU's transportation team. And when you buy your new Ford at Hollingsworth Richards Ford, you'll get peace of mind with our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty. That's right, a nationwide powertrain warranty with every new Ford purchase. Only at Hollingsworth Richards Ford, located at 7787 Florida Boulevard. Or online 24/7 at HollingsworthRichardsFord.com. Go Tigers! See dealer for details.
Hey, Tiger fans, it's time for you to score with amazing John Deere deals from Sunshine. Ask us about tractor packages with 0% financing available. Whether you're working in the fields or preparing grounds to hunt, you're always sure to win when your project is powered by Sunshine. Learn more at sunequip.com. Some restrictions apply. See your dealer for details. Offer ends December 31st, 2021.
Hey, LSU fans, did you know that Planet Fitness is the official gym of LSU Athletics? That's right. And as an LSU Athletic fan, you can get a special offer of just $1 down at any of the 6 Baton Rouge area locations with offer code PFLSU. You'll get free fitness training, tons of cardio and strength equipment, and a totally friendly staff. Planet Fitness is a comfortable place to go at your own pace. You can find out more at planetfitness.club/LSU. And go Tigers.
If it's a tale worth telling, it happens at LaBerge. With thousands of games to explore, hot streaks that never end, handcrafted flavors eager to please, and a vibe you'll never forget. It's a story in the making. This one, however, is to be continued. LaBerge Baton Rouge. What's your story? Must be 21 years of age or older. Family problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
At the snap of the football, Richardson gets it, goes back 5 steps. Here comes pressure, throws off his back foot, and it is intercepted. Damone Clark has it at the 35-yard line. And with a minute 59 to go, the Tigers may have sealed this one up.
Wrapping up this week's visit with Coach O. This is the Ed Ogeron Show, live from TJ Ribs on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
Finishing up on this Wednesday night with head coach Ed Ogeron, live from TJ Ribs. Want to remind you earlier today, of course, we all know basketball season just around the corner. Women's basketball, men's basketball will officially begin their 2021-22 campaigns on November 9th. But when LSU men's basketball begins play against ULM on the 9th of November, it will be the 50th anniversary season of what was originally the LSU Assembly Center. Now we know is the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. And in honor of the 50th anniversary, this sounds kind of fun. Fans are going to be asked to select their choice as the best men's basketball game ever played in the building through a 32-game NCAA-style bracket. So to be involved and to cast your ballot and cast your vote, make sure you download the LSU Sports mobile app presented by BASF right now and follow along as we move through the next couple of months and pick the best men's basketball game ever played inside that building. We're talking LSU football. Tigers go take on Alabama on Saturday. Again, kickoff scheduled for 6:05 Central Time. Coach, going out to the LSU Sports mobile app, the aforementioned John writing in from Milford, Delaware. Wanted to know, obviously, Alabama's going to have their defense. They're going to try to stop whatever you do. But from an LSU perspective, how do you try, or what are some things that you try to get the running game going early?
Obviously, we did a great job against Florida. I liked our running game. I liked our gap plays. I know they're going to be ready for it, but, we got to match man on man. We got to win. We got to win our blocks inside. We got to run the football hard. We got to be a little bit more creative, give them some different formations, give them some different looks, but we have to run the football.
Coach, defensively, Pete Golding, defensive coordinator, more of a 3-2-5 base than maybe a traditional 3-4. But what do you see overall as their defensive philosophy? What are they trying to do?
Well, they're very strong up front like they always been. And the guys attack well. They can rush the passer with 4. They're very stout against the run. Henry Toto, the transfer from Tennessee, is their leading tackler. He's sideline to sideline. They play man-to-man. They press you. They make the quarterback hold his hand, hold the ball, and get time for that rush.
When you look at Alabama this season, they have 22 sacks as a defensive unit, which is 6th best in the SEC, averaging, I think, about 2.75 per game. And over there, they talk a lot, and you read in the media when they talk about defense, they say, hey, sacks are great, but we want to affect the quarterback. When you look at what they do, what is it that they do that affects the quarterback?
They stay in their lanes. They have a lot of hits and hurries and batted pass, and they make it very hard to throw the football.
Linebackers present some problems. They got a good group there. Dallas Turner, Toa, who you talked about transferring in from Tennessee, Christian Harris, and Will Anderson Jr. How do you try to go about? What's the key to at least minimizing the impact they have defensively in the game?
Will's a man that we recruited, a very good rusher. He has 9 sacks. We have to know where he's at all times. We're going to have to double him, chip him. He's one of their best pass rushers. Christian Harris right here from U-High has had an outstanding career there. He runs sideline to sideline. But you have to find a way to get after him, run the ball in the middle, and be just as physical as they are.
Alabama's 2nd in rushing defense in the SEC, 7th in passing defense in the SEC. How do you try and use that to your advantage, or does that allow you to take advantage of that?
Well, the one thing you don't want to do is become one-dimensional, so they can blitz your protection. They're very good at blitzing your protection. So we're going to have to stay ahead of the change. We can't be playing 2nd down and 12, 2nd and 15. We're going to have to either have the short passing game on 1st down or positive yards on 1st down, or 2nd and 3 at manageable downs to move the change down the field.
Now, obviously, all of us, Coach, here in Baton Rouge understand that Bryant-Denny is not Tiger Stadium, but let's give them credit. They have a pretty decent atmosphere over there. Is that something at all that you talk to the team about? Hey, look, they're going to be hostile, they're going to be at you, or they're used to it by now?
We love it. We thrive off of it. We thrive off of it. I love going to other people's stadiums and playing. It's going to be a great atmosphere. LSU, Alabama. They can play Dixieland Delight. I'm going to be singing it too. Let's go.
As you said, there's a couple of keys that LSU offensively can do. As the old cliche goes, sometimes the best defense is a good offense to keep their offense on the sideline. They're 10th in red zone scoring defense. And, Coach, the reason I bring this up is they don't allow a lot of trips into the red zone. In fact, they've allowed just 20 chances this year, which is second only to Georgia, allowing just 14. However, once teams get in the red zone, they have had success not only scoring, but scoring touchdowns. The importance in Saturday's game is, as you said, staying on schedule on 1st and 2nd down, making 3rd down manageable, long sustained drives, and, of course, getting inside the 20-yard line.
We have to do a better job, especially when we get on the goal line. We have to score points. Field goals are not going to win this football game. And whenever we get inside the 40-yard line, it's about scoring 6 points, getting an extra point. At any time that we can, we need to score points.
You talked about the turnover margin for both teams. Again, a big factor in the win over Florida here at Tiger Stadium was turning them over and really taking momentum away from them early and making them pay. I know I'm Captain Obvious when it comes to this, but obviously that's got to be the order of the day. Any opportunity you can do to get your hands on the football is imperative.
Yeah, we have to. First of all, we got to protect the ball. You can't go on the road and turn the ball over. That's number one. We got to take care of the football. We can have 0 turnovers. We can't give them anything. And we got to be able to capitalize on the turnovers we get And also, we got to win the special teams battle. They got a very good returner. We recruited him. He was committed to us. Jojo Earl was committed to us for 3 months. All of a sudden, he goes to Alabama. He's a great player. He reminded me of Jalen Waddell in the return game. We got to hit him up. We can't let him make big plays.
You know, one of the things LSU has done this season, and obviously every season you've been head coach, is be ready to play. And even in games where things didn't go your way, you came out ready to go.
Yeah.
How big is it to not only get off to a great start on the road, maybe quell the crowd just a little bit, but when adversity, that first bit of adversity hits the Tigers, that they're able to put it behind them quickly?
Hey, listen, when you go into a fight, the pain's going to come, man. You're going to throw punches, they're going to throw punches. I'm telling our guys, invite the pain. Here it comes. But we got to throw more punches than them, and it's going to happen. We have to play for 60 minutes. They're going to make plays. We're going to make plays. Hell, last time we went there and beat them, wheels ahead, they came back, and we recovered an onside kick. So it may come down to the last play. We just got to be ready to throw the last punch.
Coach, I have no idea what you will say to the team just moments before they go out to take on Alabama on Saturday. But nobody here doubts the fact you'll get this team motivated. What are some of the ideas? What are some of the things you want to say to the guys that are keys to victory that we can go in there, if nobody else believes us except those of us in this room, to win this game?
Well, look at the second half of Florida game. Florida ran the ball on them. Florida played very well. They didn't make the 2-point play, and we beat Florida. And then Texas A&M beat them. So it's not like other teams have not beaten this team. Now, are they a very good team? Yes, they are. But are they beatable? Yes, and I do believe we are.
All right, Coach. I am excited to make the trip over to Tuscaloosa. I know there's a lot of people here, and TJ Ribb's going to do the same. I did want to take some time out. I'm a dad. You're a dad. I mentioned last week you'd have a chance to go watch your son play. You don't haven't had a lot of opportunities to see that happen. That part of the weekend, how much fun was it?
I loved it. I love being a parent. Went down to Strawberry Stadium. They've got a very good team in Southeastern. In fact, we were on the goal line 4 times and we didn't score. And give Southeastern credit. They did a great job, but it's always fun to see Cody play. It's always fun to see Frank Wilson play. In 2 weeks from now, we'll get to go see him play his last game in senior night. Cody's graduated, like I said last week, with a 3.9 GPA. In graduate school, that's definitely the highest Orgeron GPA that I know.
Well, congratulations to him, both on the field and off. Coach, travel trip to Tuscaloosa. Looking forward to it. I know you guys will be ready to go, and it is a absolute business trip when you guys take off Friday.
No question. We were ready to go.
All right, fans. That's going to wrap up our show tonight. And for head coach Ed Orgeron, hope many of you will be there to root the Tigers on. If you can't be in Tuscaloosa, I know you will be there in spirit. Coach, best of luck. Get after him on Saturday night.
Go Tigers.
All right, fans. That'll wrap up our show. I want to thank Coach, as always, for his time. The great staff here at TJ Ribbs that takes care of us each and every week. Our on-site engineer, Stan Catron. The straw stirring the drink back in the Capital One studios, Jeff Palermo. And to you for joining us. So until this Saturday evening from Bryant-Denny Stadium, this is Chris Blair saying so long, everybody, and go Tigers.
Okay, that concludes tonight's coach's show. We will have the Saints preview tonight. Saints will take on the Atlanta Falcons this Sunday, 12 noon. The game will be here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We are going to be live for that game. So we will go dive into Saints and Falcons. So if you want to come in and talk Saints and Falcons, your opportunity is now. You can go through the chat room, or if you want to come in on StreamYard, just go through the StreamYard link, and we will be happy to have you here. So we'll go ahead and send those links out to you. And if you want to come on, so through StreamYard or regular chat, that's highly optional for anybody. Okay, once again, Facebook, And YouTube has the StreamYard links. You can access those StreamYard links. Let's go ahead and go over to Sean Payton. We'll hear what Sean Payton had to say. Getting preparation for the Atlanta Falcons game this week. So let's go ahead and hear from Coach Payton.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, you guys on?
Yep.
Oh, good. Thought it was me.
Hey, Sean, just starting out, just some of the things that stand out about Atlanta when you guys are watching them.
Obviously, when you go through a coaching change, you see a different defensive structure, and the same thing on offense. I think they're explosive offensively. They're using Cordell Patterson in a lot of good ways. He's having a real good year. I see Matt playing. It's interesting because they're doing a few things well with the wide zone scheme that Atlanta's always done, but the ball's coming out off his play actions. They're getting some explosive plays. They're a real good third down offense. Defensively, they're real difficult because you're looking for explosive opportunities. They're playing with a lot of too high shell, or they get to it, in a different way, but it's still a too high shell. I think they're handling the run game when they do that pretty well. So it's a team that makes you drive the ball. That's predominantly zone, but they play man. You can see they're well coached. They've got two really good returners, both in the punt and kick return game. Those are the things that initially, when you just talk about the change and you're looking at their scheme, they're very well coached.
Hey, Sean, what happened with Michael Thomas? Did he have a setback or something, or
yeah, and
not able to?
No, listen, I think it's accurate to say that there was a setback, and it wasn't anything of his. Like, he's working his tail off, and the setback had more to do with the procedure he had initially that was just done, and as they went through the scans, there's a chance that he may have to have another procedure done, and so I can't call in and have Dr. Anderson get on the call with us and explain to you, but I think that Michael is working his tail off to get healthy and become available, and I think that this isn't anything he can control, and so this has more to do with the tightrope procedure, and what that is a procedure that strengthens the ankle after you've had a significant injury to that area. So the setback is really surgically related, and we'll kind of go from there.
Did you guys, I guess, see this coming for a little while? And
No,
I asked that
no.
to say.
No, this is no.
Okay, I was only asking that to say if you approach the trade deadline differently,
No,
knowing
no.
that could happen.
Look, when the trade deadline comes, we'll take a peek at what we think are players that may be available via trade. Like, we look at them, and maybe in some positions we won't look. But if you feel like you have a good team, you're paying attention to really all positions just based on who might be trading players. And so we've looked at receivers in the trade deadline. We've looked at quarterbacks. We've looked at defensive tackles. We've looked at a number of players just because there's a feeling that this team might be willing to move this player, tight end, receiver, safety. And so, you approach that a little if you have an interest like free agency, where you look and do your homework. It's hard because it's in season, so it's taken away. If you're looking at film of a receiver, you're still getting ready for a game that week, and so that's not unusual. But that's as far far as that went. Like there was never any, well, we got down to the wire and just couldn't agree to a price. Nothing relative to any position, really. I mean, that would be that.
Sean, you guys expressed confidence in that receiver room prior to the season. How do you feel that room, those players have played this season?
Good. I think good. I think, listen, I thought they had a good game last week. We've got some younger guys. I think the addition of Kenny Stills has helped us. I think Deontay being back has helped us. I think Kevin White is continuing to get better. I think Jordan Humphrey's experience and size and strength, Marquez, Traquan's back. I mean, look, these guys are tough. They're competitive, and I like them. I mean, I'm not interested in your PFF grades or any of that other stuff. It just is what it is. I like this group. Obviously, you're better if you have Mike Thomas in that group, but we don't right now, and we don't have Jameis at the quarterback position, and we don't have a few other things, and that's just how our league can be sometimes. So we're getting ready for this week.
Sean, what are some of the things when you watch your own defense that DA does that makes it hard for other teams to kind of read the coverage and get people into mistakes?
Yeah, I think, it's the alignment. I think we try to change looks up. I think we run to the ball well, and I think we have real smart safeties. We went through a stretch where we were struggling, and I can't tell you the value of football IQ relative to that position, be it free or strong. And Marcus is someone that's extremely smart. Malcolm is someone that's extremely smart. PJ is very smart. And I just think, man, bad IQ in the secondary is tough to play with. And these guys got really good football IQ.
Hey, Sean, we saw it on Alvin Kamara's fourth down touchdown run, but can you speak to what Troutman has done this year as a blocker, even if the receptions targets haven't really been there?
Yeah, look, he's having a good year, and we're getting him more involved in the passing game as well. It's kind of an easy relief block. It's not easy to do, but he was able to kind of capture Levante David's leverage and then just hold on to it. The play obviously took longer than it needed to, but that was a big play. And, we knew going into the game when we wanted to run that, and we also knew that it was going to be on David. And so, it was a challenge. The challenge with that block really is to execute it without getting a holding call because it's so long. It's 5 seconds. And that's a long time to stay on a block.
What do you see out of
Michael Thomas? With the timing of
Say it again.
Okay, sorry.
Say it again.
The timing of Michael Thomas's procedure have changed anything as far as him being able to come back this year with this setback?
I don't understand the question.
Okay, if he had surgery earlier, would this have changed the outcome as far as him being able to come back during the season?
Yeah, I mean, you're going back to if that happened earlier and then this now happened. I mean, look, he's had a surgery, and right now he's having complications with the current surgery that was done. So, I listen. It is what it is. I know he's working his tail off to get back out there, and I mean you're going back to the original. So if you're doing a timeline, knock yourself out.
Sean, what kind of?
All right, thank you guys. Go ahead.
What stands out about Kyle Pitts, the rookie tight end?
Man, he's long. He's got real good high point hands, so he can catch these, awkward body position throws. He's someone that middle. He transitions well. He's been fun to watch. He's something else. So that's obviously one of their targets and someone that we're going to have a plan for.
Sean, can you share anything on your plans for the QB?
No, I can't share anything relative. Nope.
Okay, thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Okay, Coach. How you doing? How you doing, Road Dog? What's up? Okay, we're gonna preview. We're gonna have the let's see, Coach. Trying to see if I can pull up the Atlanta Falcons coach. I'll pull up the coach. So let me go ahead and pull him up. And we'll
All right, let's roll.
Yeah, obviously, just kind of, this is a weird question, but with Michael Thomas not being available and you knowing that now, does that ease things in some ways? Does that kind of change anything in terms of?
Sorry about that, buddy.
Michael.
I was asleep. I fell
really good
asleep.
Football team. They've won 3 in a row. They've been the standard in this division for the last 4 years. They got, to me, one of the more successful coaches in football in the last 20 years is Sean Payton. They've done it a bunch of different ways. And that's, to me, a sign of a great football coach. They've evolved. In the last couple of years, they made a commitment to the run game. And they won the division. They won it throwing the football. They've run the football. They've run it with defense. They've won on offense. They've won on special teams. They continue to win. And we got a heck of a challenge going down there. So we're going to line up. They got good players, good scheme, good coaches. We're going to have to stop Kamara. We're going to have to, essentially stop Ingram in the run game. They got a lot of guys that can make plays on the perimeter, and they're creative. So it's going to be a challenge. Whether Michael Thomas was playing or not, they got good players.
You were working with Trevor. You mentioned it on Monday. You
Mhm, Trevor.
Last year. What was it that stood out about him when you were working with him?
Very smart, and it's not anything to do where he went to college either. So Trevor's very sharp. He understands how to play quarterback. He's going to make the right read, and I can see why they like him. Same reason I like Trevor.
I know we were talking the other day about how essentially losing the line of scrimmage, and that was kind of the whole key to Sunday's game. I mean, how do you kind of moving forward? What are you kind of telling these guys up front about? Hey, this is a crux of what we need to be doing moving forward.
Well, it's just the honest and what happened in one game. It hasn't been. It's still not catastrophic. We got 10 other opportunities, and nothing more important. There's one opportunity ahead of us on Sunday. So we played pretty well in the line of scrimmage. Clearly, we didn't on Sunday, and credit to them. So we're 3-4. We deserve to be 3-4. We got a lot of opportunities left ahead of us, and so I told you early in the season, the picture's going to change too. Because now we're into November, right in the middle of the pack. The good teams are going to continue to improve and find ways to win. So you're playing more meaningful games in December. And that's never changed in the National Football League. It's true in the 70s. It's true today. So that's what we got to do.
I know we were talking to Dave Ragone last week, and he was saying how this offense is better when you have, you spread the ball out and you get it to a ton of people. Can you kind of speak to kind of this offensive, I guess, just mindset of, when you are able to hit maybe like 7 or 8 guys in the pass game, how it can be beneficial for you guys?
Well, it just makes you, have to account for everybody. So, and the other thing, it's really just practical. We got a lot of guys that can move the football. So if you can find ways, sometimes the cover is going to dictate it. And you can try to force things in sometimes. Come hell or high water. There's certain things you can do if you just want to force targets to people. Certainly, the defense also has to say they can take somebody away. They want to double them or the way they want to roll the coverage, and you got to have other answers. So we got a lot of guys that can move football, and we're way more efficient as an offense when we can do that and more people are involved.
Charles, you mentioned Trevor. Have you had to look at film of what they look like with Taysom Hill, the quarterback, including against the Falcons?
Sure. Taysom Hill is a really effective player. They can use him in multiple ways. He hasn't played in a month, so he should be pretty fresh coming back. If they want to put him in the quarterback run packages, he's a physical runner. I know he's been out but he's a physical football player, and they can certainly use him in the quarterback run. They can use him in the drop back game. He's a terrific all-around football player. And another guy you got to account for if he's in there. And if Trevor's in there, he's going to run that offense really well. And, we'll see what their game plan is. But I know this. I know Trevor will be smart. He'll make the right decision for him.
Charles, what type of problems do the Saints defense present for you as a
Well, every week there's challenges. That's a National Football League. So they're extremely fast physical defense. These guys bring it. Their D-line is, to me, their rush lanes, the way they can move and get vertical as good as anybody. I think they got a terrific D-line coach, and Ryan Nielsen. Those guys freaking play hard. They're all long, physical. They roll them all in there. Schematically, we go back, and Dennis Allen's done a good job with them. It's a pressure. He brings has good pressure packages. Added Chris Richard in the back end. I think you can see his influence on the back end. They're well coached, and they got a lot of guys. Demario Davis, to me, is a premier inside linebacker, and he's as good as they get. The way he diagnoses how physical he plays, so he can be a problem. So we got a good challenge ahead of us.
With guys like Sean Payton who have done it for a while, are there any commonalities in the way that you've noticed in the way that they approach things that have allowed them to stick in this job for a
Well, there's a lot of ways people have been successful. A lot of industries. I mean, to me, that's what makes life unique and interesting. And when you're studying different industries, and you look at whether you're looking at Sean Payton, you're looking at Mike Tomlin, Bill Belichick, Andy Reid, just to name a few, and not to slight anybody else, but those are guys, obviously, in this job, in this profession, in the last 10 years, have done it at a high level on anybody. And, I don't know all those guys really well personally, just watching them from afar. They've all been successful, and they're doing it their own way. When you just get down to New Orleans, like I said, I mean, it's been a very creative offense. They've won a lot of different ways. They've adapted to their personnel. They had a shift, in the mid part of this decade, and the roster changed significantly, and they found ways to win, and they went at a high level year over year. So to me, that's a testament of a really good coach, really good organization.
So is adaptability then?
Sure. I mean, it can work for some people. You can certainly well noted. You look at New Orleans, and you look at New England, and those. I mean, all of those guys. Yeah, you got to adapt. Like nobody wants to, But I don't think some of the things are the foundation. You look at Pittsburgh. They're going to be a really physical football team. They adapt. Obviously, they're offensive, but at the end of the day, there is an identity. And in New Orleans, their identity they're going to play hard, physical. They're going to throw a lot of personnel groups at you, and they're going to make life difficult. And they get in there. Like I said, it's a hornet's nest. It's going to be loud, and that's what makes this game fun. You love to have the fans back because to me, those are atmospheres you want to play in.
What do you want people to say is Atlanta's identity in 3 years, 4 years?
We'll see how the roster evolves, but at the end of the day, we're going to play well in the line of scrimmage. We're going to be able to adapt. We're going to play a smart situational football, and we're going to be able to finish games. That's what I want them to see.
Goodell looked like posted something on social media that looks like he's at least working. Where is he at this point?
He's where a lot of the guys are that are on IR. They're working. They return to play. So again, I don't. It's great that he's on social media, but good for Matt. I hope he's progressing, just like all of our players. Dante, all of them, and we'll make the assessment when the doctors. We update it pretty much weekly, so that's all I can give you there.
You anticipate either one of those guys being back?
We'll see. See what the doctors tell it. I get updated every day, and we have a plan. I'm not going to make those plans public. We have a great medical staff, a good team, so. I'll just they tell me who's available, and that's what we play.
When you had a guy who's had 2 concussions in 2 months, what level of AJ Terrell?
Did you diagnose him with that?
You guys did.
No, it's not what happened. So again, everybody's on the protocols, but we're not going to put somebody out there that hadn't been cleared. It's just like when I got asked that he got knocked out. Like those are just I know where you're going with this. We take everybody's player safety paramount in this league. So you let the medical professionals handle it. So if they're going to take it, we're going to be very, very cautious. The guy doesn't go out there if he's had a second concussion right away, unless it was identified. So that's not what the case was with him. That's why he played last week. So then, so what's your question?
So my question is, what level of concern is that he's been, if you're saying you didn't have if he's been in protocol twice in 2 months, what's your level of concern right now?
The reason they put him in the protocol, think about this logically. They put him in the protocol because we're trying to make the game safer. Nobody's in there, and I don't know anybody in the league in 2021 that's pushing guys out there that aren't ready to play. So we've gotten, to me, the game of football has gotten a lot smarter. Where you get these false narratives, all of a sudden you're just taking it on the surface. Like, so again, so what are you trying to ask? Like, all these players, if somebody has an issue, whether it's the day after game or happens in game or in practice, we're going to do everything we can to make sure we take care of the player. So that's the best way I can give you. So I don't know where you're trying to lead the rest of the questions. Okay.
Literally just asking.
That's what we do with every player. Every player, we're going to do that. So my concern is with every player on the roster. It's really practical. And then try not to take everything on the surface. Every player we have in here, whether it's an injury, it's visible and invisible, we care a lot. And so that's a concern for every player on this roster, every coach on this roster, everybody in that building out here that works for the Atlanta Falcons.
I understand this falls into the same category to some degree, but you know if Calvin will be available Sunday?
Don't know. So like everybody's injury, we'll get updates. We'll figure it out. And so I can't answer that because I don't know.
That's all. So you have, for your preparation purposes, a day of the week where you would need to know. We need to know about. Let us know by Friday. Let us know by Thursday.
You prepare on the week. Okay, that's why we put an injury report out, and you have to assess what's realistic. If they're going to play, you got a plan. You got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adapt whether something happens on a Friday, then a part of that, or a guy, something happens at practice on Friday, you have to adapt. No different than a Saturday or a Sunday morning. It's no different than you get to the first play of the game, something happens, the game's going to go on, and you got to have a plan. And so we always try to have a plan, and we assess it as objective and as real as we can. So yeah, certainly it can alter it. If this guy's probably not going to make it to Sunday, okay, you're probably not going to take an account. If you do take an account for somebody, something happens on Friday or Saturday, you're not going to take your ball and go home. You're going to have to find another solution. Here's what we're going to have to do. No different if the backup quarterback has to play. If you got to get down to your emergency quarterback, your backup tackle, backup swing guard, backup Mike, and then on and on down the line. Backup punter, we've had to do that this year, right? Koo had to come in and punt. So you got to have a plan.
As it pertains to Calvin, with Calvin and his people on the team, is there daily communication, or do you say let's check in a week or 2 weeks?
That's private information, and I'm not going to disclose that. Just like I'm not going to disclose, players can speak for themselves when it comes to their own injuries. So I'm not going to dive into that. I'll update you guys as soon as I know on the roster. I'm not trying to hide anything, but I'm not going to speak for a player. Yeah, I understand that, and you guys have to do your job, and I don't fault you for that. But I'm not going to disclose their personal information.
Anything else? Charles? And the first game you had without Calvin, it was a big kind of a breakout for Kyle. It appeared maybe he had a different level of defensive attention last week. What was your read on that, and what would you expect going forward for how defenses treat Kyle?
Depends on the scheme you're playing. I mean, they gave him a lot of attention in Miami. He won his matchups. Didn't win on Sunday. So, I mean, that's life in the NFL. It's the best lessons learned. We got a lot of faith in Kyle. He's a rookie. I continue to joke that, he played one good game. It's just the way of the world now. Hype's unbelievable. More than ever, it's in your face 24/7. If you want to live through your avatar, you're going to live through a false reality. The reality is, that any rookie in this league, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to assess it when you see the whole picture at the end of the season and then a couple of years into their career. If you live and die with the week-to-week narratives, shame on you. And Kyle, he's done a lot of good things as a rookie. Like all of us, including myself, we've got room to improve. He's going to draw a lot of attention. He's usually the biggest guy on the field, or his number 8. Every defense we've played has had a plan for him. It's up to the coordinator how they want to play it. And at the end of the day, you're going to get man coverage as a wide out or tight end. If you're a back that's in the passing game, and you're going to have to beat man coverage. And they're really good players in this league. And nobody's superhuman.
Michael. This is kind of very maybe an unusual question, but can you explain the strategy with Elliott Fry basically bringing him in on Fridays, and then
They know it's pretty obvious. I like the minutia word. To go back and forth, spar back and forth. It's looking on the surface. It's right there in front of you, man. Like it's pretty damn obvious.
I know, but I'm just wondering, like because basically the guys getting hired on Fridays and fired on Mondays.
See, again, there's a dramatic language. It's not fired, guys. It's the roster move. And if your mindset's that kind of soft, and it's like, oh, I got fired. No, Elliott knows the plan. Most of these guys, it's a hard life. You're well compensated. The NFL is hard, but like there's things you have to do. You're going to see it every day. You got to see the roster moves around the league. We're still dealing in a pandemic world, correct? I hope it's closer to the end than it's not. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an epidemiologist. I don't have all the answers. I can get online, claim I do, like a lot of people in this world, but I don't. So again, you got to have a plan. So that's pretty obvious. We got confidence if Elliott had to go on a Sunday, he would go. And but the answer is just there's nothing trying to hide there. It's right in plain sight.
I'm just wondering what those conversations were like. Like on a Monday, you'd be like, all right, see you in 3 days.
It's actually not a bad gig. He gets paid for the week, and he works like 2 days. But he stays ready, and he's a professional, and we got a lot of faith in him. And then if again he had to work out with another team, you got to have plan B if somebody were to sign him. Just like every team in the league, they're all dealing with it. Whether he's on the practice squad all week, or you're adding him on Friday, it's every team's doing the same thing.
Anything else? Coach, follow up on Kyle Pitts. He said after the game that, talk about the matchup against Stephen Gilmore and talking about how that was kind of like a welcome to the NFL moment for him. Like, how important is that for him to go through things like that to kind of be able to help his development going forward?
You got to work every day at it if you want to be a good pro. Whether they put Gilmore on him, put Lattimore on him, they put Malcolm Jenkins. There's a lot of good players in this league, and you got to be ready week to week. That's why it's hard. It's hard to sustain success in this league and be a pro. Kyle's got the right mindset. It's like we all strive to be perfect, and you work to improve, and you're not going to be. I'm not going to call a perfect call every time. I'm going to try, but I'm not. And you got to be able to have the mindset to live with that and understand and be objective. Okay, what can I do better the next time? It's the same thing we ask the players to do. So again, everyone wants to get in there, and because it's a name or not, and they read about them on social media and puff it up or whatever. At the end of the day, they're still 11-11 too, and you got the protections. You got the quarterback's got to deliver it. You got to have the right spacing and the right thing. That all goes together. Everybody needs to be coordinated to run the right routes. And sometimes, again, you don't go in a lot of scheme here, but you wouldn't know unless you're in those meetings what we're asking guys to do. You take a picture. You can have some expert online that can take a still shot in football, and I'm telling you, they're dead wrong because they have no idea what the quarterback reads are. They don't understand exactly how you ask them to run it. You can know you have a general information of how somebody runs a play. But until you're in those meeting rooms, you don't know if they change the read, change the depth. You have a good educated guess, and there's some smart people who do that. It's not a knock on everybody that does it. But you get into that world, like it's not. Like you do have to be man coverage one-on-one. I get that, but it's not just all of a sudden. It's not a one-on-one game either. So there's a lot of cause and effects that go into it. We're happy with a lot of our guys. We know where we're at in the season, and we got a hell of a challenge on Sunday. We got to be ready to roll.
All right, appreciate it.
Anything else? I like the Braves gear in the back.
Okay, once again, we'll break down the Atlanta Falcons game this week. So I'm going to go ahead and move
Great. How y'all doing?
Move this out the screen, and we're going to break down the Atlanta Falcons game this week. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my numbers. I'm going to put in my stats. We'll put that in, and we'll break it down for you. So I'm going to go ahead and get going. Okay, we got everything. Got everything set up, so we should be ready to go in just a second. Let me make sure we get all our previews. Okay, we're going to preview the Saints and the Falcons. Let's go ahead and preview the Saints and Falcons. I'll get my Game previews up. Let's see if I can grab them. I don't know if they have them. I don't know if they have the previews. These previews, I don't know. I'll check and see. There it is. Saints and Falcons game preview up on the screen, so you'll see it. So if you you'll see it right on the screen. So let's go over the specifics of this game. So we're gonna go over the specifics. Okay, Saints coming in as 6-point favorite. Falcons coming in as a 6-point underdog. That's once again the money line will be plus 215 over, and the Saints against the Saints, it will be a 6-point favorite. So a 6-point favorite on Fox. So that's what they're discussing here. Okay, injuries. Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is limited capability on Wednesday. So it looks like he is going to play on Sunday's game. Michael Thomas reported will miss the rest of the season. So that's something right there that should have never happened. That should have never happened. Michael Thomas needs to understand what we need him. He's a viable wide receiver for the Saints offense. But if you want to be selfish like that, that's on him. I hate to say it, that's on him. If he wants to be selfish. Okay, these are your injuries. We got them right here on the screen. The Atlanta injuries, AJ McCollum, ACL, Dexter Fowler, knee, Calvin Ridley, personal issues, Isaiah Alba, knee, disclosed, Denrin, sent, Mac, Gazzardo. He's also so that is just saying some and Falcons. Let's go ahead and break down the matchup. Let's go ahead and break down both offenses. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and break down both offenses. Starting with the Saints offense. Saints offense averaging their 13th, putting up 13 points, 25 points a game. Also, yards. The Falcons are are ranked 21st, putting up 21 points a game. Now, yards for a play, the Saints average 0.41. That's good for 8. The Falcons is averages 0.33. That's good for 21st in games. Now, passing the ball. The yards for a game, the Saints are at 29th with 305. The Falcons at 334 with 20 and ranked 23rd in the nation, so 23rd in the NFL when it comes down to it. Now, passing yards per game, Saints are ranked 31st. Falcons are ranked 14th. So the Falcons are ranked 14th coming into this game versus the Saints this week. Running the ball, the Saints are ranked 9th in the NFL. The Falcons are ranked 27th in the NFL when it comes to running the football. Now, yards for a play. The Saints are ranked. Now let's see. Saints are ranked 26 in yards for a play. The Falcons are ranked, 24. So the Falcons and Saints 24th in the top 20. Now, yards for a pass. The Saints are ranked 23rd. The Falcons are ranked 26th. Now, running the football, the Saints on averages they're ranked yards for a rush. They're ranked 21st. The Falcons are ranked let's see, 28. So that's the difference right there when it comes down to it. Now the red zone efficiency. Saints are ranked 14. No, Falcons are ranked 14. Falcons are ranked 14th. The Saints are ranked 7th when it comes down to the red zones. Now, let's see, third down conversions. The Saints are 22nd, and the Falcons are 7th. Now in turnovers, the Saints are ranked 5th with 6 turnovers, and the Falcons are ranked 15th with 10 turnovers a game. So that's now the sacks per game. Both teams has 12 sacks a game. Both teams are ranked 6th in the sacks department. Now let's go over to the defensive side of the ball. We'll break down the Falcons first. Okay, Falcons are ranked 26th and giving up 27 points a game. The Saints are ranked 4th, giving up 18 points a game. The Falcons, the points for a play, the Falcons are ranked 28. The Saints are ranked 3rd when it comes down to it. Now, yards for a game given up by the Saints and Falcons. Falcons are 11th with 244. The Saints 22nd with 281 a game. Now, running the ball, average wise, Saints are giving up, let's see, Saints are giving up 3.5 yards per game on a rush. The Falcons giving up 4.4 on a rush. Now, on third down conversions, the Falcons are at, let's see, the Falcons are at 30th with 50 first downs given up. The Saints 37th with 10 first downs given up. Now in the red zone offense. Let's go over to the red zone offenses. The Saints, red zone defenses. The Saints are ranked first in red zone defense with 43.8. They only give up 43.5. The Falcons are at 65.5% with 20. Now, on turnovers, the defense contribute to turnovers. The Falcons are ranked 6th with 20. They have 27. They're ranked 27th with 6 turnovers. Sorry about that. Okay. Also, the Falcons, the Saints are ranked 7th with 13 turnovers. Now, sacks a game. The Saints are at 16. That's 20th in the NFL. And the Falcons are ranked 37th with 10 sacks a game. So that's 10 sacks in the game going into this weekend's game. With so we'll go over the trends and we'll go over the players to watch. Okay, let's go over the trends. Saints compile a 4-3 record against the spread this season. Spread has been favorite of the Saints by 6 points and failed to cover the spread. Also, total of 3 games, total of 3 out of New Orleans 7 games this season. They hit the total. Also, the Saints and its opponents have gone over the combined 42-point mark. Now the Saints are 2-2 in games listed as money line games. So that's some betting trends right there. Now, next one, the Falcons. Falcons have covered twice in 7 matchups with the spread this year. Also, the Falcons not covered the spread as an underdog. 6 points or more in one opponent. Now, so far this season, 4 out of the Atlanta 7 games went over the totals. So that's kind of what happened. Now, Atlanta and its opponents combined for 42 points in 4 of the 7 games. And also, this season, the Falcons have, like I said, have been underdogs for the last 3 times. And they won one of those 3 games. Now, the players to look out for the Falcons: Matt Ryan, Cordell Peterson, Mike Davis, Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, Deion Jones, and Forsake O'Connor, if I'm saying his name right. Also, Jalen Hawkins is another guy you must look out for. Also, for the Saints, hopefully Winston does come out and play, but I don't think he will. It's probably going to be Simeon or Hill. They'll play it by ear this week. If either be Simeon or Hill playing. Also, Mark Ingram came back last week. He made got some of the yards that he had in the game last Sunday. So that's another weapon that we can use. Also, Dante Harris, Tresson Capacilin is another guy that we have to let loose, and also Demario Davis. So Demario Davis, I'm glad to see how Demario Davis is progressing in his games and stuff like that. So that is your game breakdown. Let's give you the odds in this game. The game is once again, roll this up. Okay, the point spread is once again 6 points. Money line 238 for the Saints, and the over and under is 42.5. So that is how they're gonna put it out to the public. So that's probably going to be a money line on the Saints or money line on the Falcons. So once again, on that note, we'll wrap up. Okay, once again, we drop this down. Once again, thanks for joining us for this edition of Saints Preview. Hopefully I gave you insightful information. Sorry, Roger, Road Dog. Yeah, I fell asleep. It happens. I mean, hopefully it will not happen again. But if you want to come back in, you'll be the first top priority when we come back on live. So thanks for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow That'll be in the evening or will be on in the afternoon hours.